Yo, this is Devin Wallin,
aka Plant Vibes.
welcome. What's up, my plant lovers? Devin is back, and I wanted to give a little update on one of my favorite houseplants in my collection. That is my Epiphyllum heucheri. If you didn't catch my last video over the summer, where the plant was in full bloom, I gave a very detailed A to Z kind of everything you need to know to take care of Epiphyllum, along with propagation techniques and just general maintenance on the Epiphyllum. Check out that video. It's very detailed and full of useful information. So I wanted to give a little update on what I've been doing with my Epiphyllum since then to really prepare it for a nice, beautiful season of flowers this summer as well. So around the time that it had been in flower, a few things that I had done was, number one, I had transferred it out of its previous container where it was definitely root bound, and I put it into a larger container. I gave it fresh potting mix, and I also removed a lot of the woody areas of the plant. You know, if you've had an Epiphyllum for a long time, after a while they get very leggy and very woody. And for me, that's not an appearance that I like, so I removed a lot of that wood. And I did so after it was flowering, because after it's flowering, it's not concentrating this energy on flower production. Rather, you can do it pretty safely and rest assured that it's going to, you're not, hurting the plant by any means, but rather you're giving it a chance to regrow in new areas of the plant without putting all of its energy towards flower production. So if you're going to be doing some pruning after they're done flowering, is a really great time to do so. Now, one of the other things that I did at that time was I put a little bit of slow release fertilizer along the base of the soil, and I've actually been pretty pleased with the results. I think the plant has loved it. I've had a lot of explosive growth over the last 6 months. So generally, I have been keeping my plant in my little houseplant display garden, which if you haven't seen my houseplant display garden, check out the link and you can see what my display garden looks like inside my home. It's also my office. It's a really beautiful room full of lush plant life. And that room I typically keep around 75 degrees all year round. Has really good lighting, lots of windows, but I was also giving this guy a supplementary grow light that I had on for 12 hours a day, every single day of the week. And the result was explosive growth. There's tons of new growth. You can see all this kind of like lighter green foliage is all the new growth. And some of the foliage has really exploded. It's almost as tall as me. It's even out of frame. It's so large and in charge. And it has been beautiful. Really a delight to watch. So why is it in this room right now? Not just for video recording purposes. I moved it into this room. This room is removed from my central heating. It's just warmed by a mini split that I never turn on. So what is the importance of that? Well, this room, living in Pennsylvania, it's middle of April. The last month or so, I've had this plant in here, and in this room, it stays much cooler than the rest of my house. It normally stays between like 55 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And one of the things that's super important to get your Epiphyllum, to get a lot of cactus to set blooms, is giving them a period of cooler temperatures. If you've ever wondered why your Christmas cactus continued to bloom over and bloom over and bloom over even when it wasn't Christmas, well, maybe you had it in a room that would get cool enough to encourage them to initiate bud formation. And while it is the middle of April right now, this Christmas cactus is on its third flush of flowers, because after it's done blooming in my houseplant garden, I bring it into this room where it has a few weeks of cooler temperatures, and they often set new flowers. So the idea with my large Epiphyllum is that I'm going to give it about a month of these cooler temperatures, and that's really going to encourage these to kind of set bud. It's going to initiate the desire for this plant to create flowers, and probably won't flower for a couple more months, but it's kind of, you're setting it up for success over the summertime. So if you are growing Epiphyllum or Christmas cactus, it's, both of them are members of the Cactaceae family, very similar cultural requirements. Giving it a few weeks to a month of cooler temperature, maybe cooler than the rest of your house is, between like 45 and 60, is awesome for encouraging these plants to create even more flowers. So something to think about, food for thought, and a really nice cultural practice to get the best healthiest, strongest growth and most flowers from your Epiphyllum orchid cacti. So I hope this video was a little bit helpful. If it was, make sure to click like and share it with any of your other succulent loving friends, your other orchid cactus loving friends, houseplant lovers, and so that we can all enjoy a little bit more healthy plants in our lives. Anyways, I'll catch you later. Ciao.